Alright guys, so basically for this video I'm going to break down leaders, give you sub-leaders, etc, and give you pretty much everything I can to maybe give you a good steer or direction in beating this event. So first, Intelligence Broly. We're just going to get him out the way because this guy's an absolute monster. I haven't pulled him, so I forgot how good he is. He's already going to start that 18% damage reduction. Majority of your enemies are probably going to be pure Saiyans or hybrid Saiyans. He's also going to have another 8% damage reduction. And he does a monster amount of damage. So if you can have this guy as your leader, that'd be great, because he also has 170% defense, and he's probably the best leader you can have. Now, let's move on. Physical Broly. Probably the leader more of you guys have, and he's fine for the most part. When he transforms, it becomes a little more lackluster, so we definitely don't want him getting hit. If you have him, that's going to be amazing. His AoE damage is going to be good, and he's going to hit multiple enemies. It's a multiple enemy game mode, so that's going to be perfect. Moving on, we have Ajo Turles. Now, Ajo Turles is probably not going to be the best in terms of getting hit. You definitely want the way. He does have that superclass enemies 15% less attack, which is okay. Do wish he had an easy A. He does have that chance to stun, and when he transforms, it becomes even greater. So, good option as well. I wouldn't steer towards using him as a leader, but decent option, and you could definitely use him as a leader if you have him. Alright, next, Broly and Chile and Lemo. Save these guys for last because you definitely want these guys to be leader. You do not want these guys to leader at all, because they rely on key spears. And a game mode like Super Battle Road, grabbing key spears is not going to be the easiest unless you have orb changers. Movie bosses does not have a lot of orb changers that can stay in the field. So be careful using this guy. I want to steer too close to him. I really want to steer close to him at all. I'm going to keep 100% with you. And now I'm going to go into other leaders, or kind of sub-leaders. Now, Janemba, you can definitely bring Janemba. Extreme Class Ki +3, HP and attack and defense 130%. I would not transform him. I do have his transform state up. I would not transform him. Unless you're trying to finish off the enemy, keep him untransformed, because if for some reason his transform state does not give him guard. So if you keep him in this transform state here, well, his untransformed state here, he's going to guard against all attacks, and extreme class allies, Ki +2 plus attack and defense 30%. I know I didn't mention it being difficult to grab key spears, but at least for him it's a little better since he can guard while doing what he has to do. Now, we're going to move on. Corroded Body and Mind, I did pull up because Corroded Body and Mind does include those Janembas. And if you want to bring Angel Metacooler, that is a little bit of an option. I would be careful bringing him, but that is a little bit of an option since this Janemba does lead Corroded Body and Mind. That's only if you're going with this route though. So let's continue. Next we have Agile 13. Now Agile 13 I sleep on a lot, probably because his transformation and what he does. I don't like his transformation. But in this situation, his transformation is not going to be a problem because it's not going to be other androids, and he has that medium chance of stunning the enemy while greatly lowering their defense, which is really good. And at that, he also leads Target Goku. So honestly, if you don't have a movie boss's leader, you could use this guy because he leads Target Goku, and Target Goku has Ellar Broly, a movie boss unit, SCR Broly, who I'm going to bring up later, another movie boss's unit, and another, a lot of other movie boss units you can find down here. The Intelligence Broly I mentioned, etc. Probably not the best option as a leader, but if you're down and you really have to use him, you could probably figure something out. You have Agile Golden Frieza and Tech Golden Frieza, and this might actually work fairly well. This probably could be something that I should have done, but you know what? Yeah, that's actually a pretty good option. You could do that as well and have him as a leader. Tech Frieza, we're gonna look out for 5 seconds and look away, because 120% extreme class is okay, but unless you have everybody else rainbow. Now Ellar Broly, I would definitely say he's better if you have dupes, because you don't want him getting hit, especially if he doesn't super. But if you can have dupes in this guy and you have him rainbow, if you get that transformation and go nuts, you can annihilate people in Super Battle Road. I'm sure you guys have seen people like the Truth do it before, etc, but that's only if you have dupes. Otherwise, I don't really recommend this guy. However, he does lead Resurrected Warriors, and like Target Goku but a little less, Resurrected Warriors does have the units that could work if you don't have a leader. So let's say Ellar Broly is your only leader, you have to bring him. You saw SCR Broly and Resurrected Warriors. You have Agile Tapian, which is actually really good. You have Agile Golden Frieza. You have Tech Golden Frieza, etc. So if you're down and you have to use him, He's also a good option who could probably get you the W. But do be careful of him getting hit. Alright, next we're going to go to this monster. Oh, indestructible ellar Broly. You have to bring this guy. Not as a leader, but just as a unit, you have to bring this guy if you have him. He's going to have type advantage against hybrid, Pure Saiyans, etc., etc., Goku's family, and when he hits, like, this guy hits like a monster truck. At his easy, it's like a monster truck. Especially after he's hitting all those enemies, you definitely want to try to bring him. Try to avoid having him get hit. If you have a Whis active, he's probably not going to take too much damage, but still try to avoid him getting hit. Try to keep him in a place where he can do damage and just go crazy, because, yeah, just let him do his thing. He's amazing. Definitely bring him if you have him. Alright, next we have Turles. Now, Turles is a really good LR. His defense is going to be more solid than most of the LRs I just mentioned in the past. 130%, and he's giving, you know, key +3 in attack and defense 30% to himself, and he has that chance to stun. So if you need a stunner, you can definitely bring him. Not a recommendation, in my opinion, but if you have him, especially with dupes, not a bad recommendation either. So you can try him and bring him for stunning, etc., etc. And next we are going to move on to Ajo Tapian. You must bring Ajo Tapian, especially having easy aid. 50% damage reduction off the bat. Hello? Under 50% HP. Transforms at Rudigan. You can manipulate the rotations. He's going to do monster damage. He's going to take no hits. Ajo Tapian is probably the most, like, probably just under Intelligence Broly. I'd say Ajo Tapian is probably one of the most must-brings. You have to bring Ajo Tapian, especially with the leads I mentioned. He's on Resurrected Warriors, and he's on the other category that I can't remember right now, but definitely bring him if you can. And we are going to continue into Ajo Golden Frieza. I don't have to say too much. He's a tank. You want a tank that is a super battle road. They're going to hit you hard. If you can utilize your tanks to where they're getting hit in that one rotation, and you can have someone like Esther or Broly go off, you want to do that. And his damage is suffice, so you can also do that as well. Keep that in mind. Alright, next up is going to be Tech Golden Frieza. Basically the same thing. They're both tanky. You can have them on the same team, same name update. I will definitely try to keep them on the same team. Next one coming is Janemba. Now, Janemba, I wish he performed a little better in this. You definitely don't want to throw him in front of attacks without any items. He has that chance to dodge, but he has that little gamble factor to him where you do want him to dodge, because if he doesn't dodge, he's going to get hit hard. Like, these enemies hit you really hard, so you really want him to dodge. Otherwise, his guard is going to be okay. Definitely try to put him in a team, but be careful of him. Don't rely too much on that dodge, and try to at least pick Golden Frieza in front of this guy before anything else. Next, we're going to move to, I believe, Esther Janemba, because I was thinking about them. Well, actually, not Esther Janemba. Esther Janemba, basically the same thing. He does more damage. I wish he was a better EZA, but he has that guard and dodging. Now, this guy is just an option if you don't have anybody else. He's free to play. He reduces damage when he has 8 or more ki. Now, for the most part, if you're playing in a way that's, you know, not logical per se, but if you're playing in a good way, you should have that active, and you should get that 40% damage reduction. But this is a unit I'd more throw to a side as a unit that, you know, you need if you don't have anybody else, just for the fact that he has that 40% damage reduction. But it's probably not going to do too much because he's free to play and he doesn't have the best defensive stats. And next, we are going to move on to Evil Incarnation Janemba. Just mention him. Same thing as in Janemba. Don't prioritize this guy in taking hits unless you have an item active. I'm telling you, if you do not have an item active and this guy gets hit, that guard will mean nothing. He will still take like 40k per normal attack or even more. So be careful. You can rely on that dodge a little bit, but not too much. Now, last but not least will be Physical Cooler. Now, Physical Cooler I left for last. If he had that 80% attack and defense active from the jump, I'd say bring him without a doubt. But since there's a lot of Tech Golden Friezas and Ajo Golden Friezas lurking around on these teams, if you do have him here, he's still going to have a solid amount of defense and he's still going to do a lot of attack. So I wouldn't prioritize bringing him, but he could work. So just to summarize with this movie belt Super Battle Road, I would, if you can do this, bring this Intelligence Broly, bring a Tech Golden Frieza, bring an Ajo Golden Frieza, bring 2 Janembas, and bring STR Broly. You're going to want everybody to tank and let STR Broly and this Broly do as much damage to the enemy as possible. with Luis, Android Aider, Nurse Chi-Chi, and there's other items you can bring too, preferably the rat item, I'd say, in my opinion. But yeah, with that, I feel like this could work easily. And don't forget your sub-leads, because these sub-leads, I feel like a lot of people aren't looking at. So if you consider these sub-leads, for example, if I could bring them up here, got Janemba, the Duck, Corroded Body and Mind, and then we can go into this guy. Actually, who's probably one of the best sub-leads since he has the attack and defense 170% defense. You can bring a target Goku team and kind of, you know, morph it into a movie boss's team. I definitely want to bring two of him though. I bring one of him and then bring the Imp Broly friend still. But besides that, that's the best I can give. And if you were to switch anybody out, I would say maybe switch one of the Janembas out for Agile Tapian. I did mention that Agile Tapian is one of the best options. So maybe switch out Janemba for Agile Tapian or SCR Janemba. I like Janemba because I put 20 dodge in him. Don't ask why. But yeah, that's pretty much the best tips I can give. This is a super battle road you want to prioritize guarding for and doing damage with SCR Broly. Besides that, that's all I got. If I did good in this video, let me know. I'm going to continue doing them for the rest. And my run should actually drop in coordination with these videos. So if you're looking at this and saying, Nindo, I have no clue what you're talking about, everything's going to be fine because my actual runs will be coming on the channel right afterwards to follow up. Besides that, much love. Hope you guys have a beautiful day. Good luck on the super battle roads. Adios, amigos.
Wait till you see the. No.